point.
I
I
doubt
tried
that.
I tried sitting him on the floor a minute ago, and he just hopped right back up.
We start just like this. I'm okay with that. We got crazy show today. A lot of catch up, but we got Cat on the show, Steel on the show. What's up, everybody? It has been a little bit of time, but as always, we are pressed for time, and it makes the most sense. So we rather be consistent by being inconsistent.
That's right.
So,
It's in the
welcome
name.
everybody. Today
To
is
be fair, Benny, typically when a cat makes an unexpected appearance in a video, that video does do numbers. All right? It draws the attention.
It's not unexpected. The cat gets in the frame at least once every time we're doing anything.
That's true.
that's true. So
He
I'm
ran away
okay
as
with
soon
it.
as we started, though. Look at this.
Oh no, he gave attention. He's like, oh no, now you bringing me up. Now you talk. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna go now.
It was too much. It was more than he wanted to handle.
All right, so today is gonna be kind of short and sweet, but we have a lot to talk about. First off, it's been a minute. Hope everybody's doing well. Tyler, I haven't seen you in a little bit. I know we're
I
all
know.
just grinding. Crazy thing happened last week. We are all about PAX East right now, and Austin and I got to hang out.
We
Mhm.
did.
So, part of that manifest destiny that we're supposed to have with having Tyler and me kind of like crossing over from all these states, we got half of that. We got me and Austin together. So, we're almost there. We'll get that Tyler synergy soon. But I
One
have
day.
to say it was great to hang out with Austin. We had a great time. We had some dinner. We saw a horror movie. We saw lots of video games,
Scariest movie I ever saw.
right? But yeah, I mean, PAX East is something I haven't done in 9 years. So it's been a long time for me. First show for Austin. So that was really cool. So I'd like to just kind of go right into it and start with Austin's experience and tell us a little bit about maybe what you saw, because for the most part we had different schedules, so
We
you
did.
saw different things. So yeah,
I
let us
was
know.
off on my own probably 80% of the time, just doing
You
whatever I
were.
could. Uh, I did a lot of. I set up appointments to see and meet up with a lot of games, but in the end, really, what I did most of the time was I just went from one booth, sat down, talked to them, and then played the game, and then just moved to the next booth and sat down and talked to them and played the game. What I learned is, man, if I had to hide the badge a few times. If you get near them and they see that the media badge, they'll like come out and like get in here and like yank you into the booth.
They kidnap you.
I was like carrying my cup, just like blocking the badge a lot of the time. I was like, "Leave me alone, leave me alone."
Yeah. Come on,
But
talk about our game. Tell us
it
it's good.
was, yeah, it was good though. It was a lot of fun. I got to meet a lot of interesting people and see a lot of interesting things. And the ones I set up the appointments with were just the ones that caught my eye originally. But I think like the ones that I liked the most weren't even ones I noticed or saw in my emails because there were so many of them. So, like, the biggest one that I liked the most that I ran into unexpectedly right before I left for the entire trip was a game called Fading Echo that was just like shoved on the edge of the wall in the smallest booth possible, and they're like ex AAA developers that came together to make a small studio, like a popular story nowadays with big games that are coming out, and they dragged like huge voice actors into it, and it was a really well polished game that was a surprisingly low attendance over there because of the weird booth that they were in. Thought it looked super cool. It's like an elemental game where you're playing as a character that can transform into a blob that absorbs the elements, and there's a bunch of puzzle solving involved with that. And it's like a basic 3D platformer with some pretty basic-ish combat, but it's really smooth and fluid. Looks cool.
Just your description reminds me. Reminds me of Cameo. You remember Cameo on the 360?
I said that to him. Yeah.
Aha! See, perfect description then.
It was because when I sat down at their booth, they had an Xbox 360 controller that you were playing on, and I was like, I'm having flashbacks playing your game here because I'm playing on an Xbox 360 controller. This is very Cameo like, and I'm like, I just feel like I'm sitting back down for the launch day of an Xbox 360 over here.
Dude, that's awesome.
That was a good game. Very underrated.
Oh yeah, I love Cameo.
Yeah.
Man.
It was a launch game, right? If I'm not mistaken, right?
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, along with
Yeah.
Perfect Dark. Woof.
Benny, you're super quiet, broski.
I guess I could move closer. Is that better?
A little bit. You're still way quieter than Austin is.
That's
I
weird, man. I don't
I have
know.
mine set to an automatic volume control inside of StreamYard or whatever here.
Yeah, yours sounds good.
Hello. Yeah, I see that too. Actually, it's a little weird, but we'll have to make do, and I'll just have to talk a little louder if that's all right, because I don't want
Works
to
for
stall
me.
us.
Start
But
shouting.
the one
Yeah.
thing I will say, what's really cool about a show like PAX, is you have this option to find and discover stuff that you would never see, because the floor is huge as far as scale, but it's not stuffed. It's not saturated
Yeah.
with.
That's what I saw from Austin's video. Was it was way more spread out because I've still never been, but it's way more spread out than I anticipated. I was picturing more of like an E3 where it's like everybody packed in like sardines in a tin,
Yeah.
but PAX looked way more had much better use of space. It seemed like.
And there was so much space. That expo hall is huge. So they had a. I mean, even with all of the stuff in there, it was still like a quarter of it that was just tables to sit down and play tabletop games at if you wanted to.
Which was cool too, because again, we know that PAX has PAX Unplug at a certain part of the year too in Philadelphia, and they focus on tabletop. So it was nice to have both options, for the East show. Pretty much the whole back wall was like tabletop area. A lot of the businesses were, that focus, of whether it be dice, and we could talk back into like maybe Chosky's we picked up and bought, but I love that you discovered this little indie studio that potentially has a remarkable story, because you think about Expedition 33,
Yeah.
kind of similar.
They're also French.
There's a theme going on, so maybe we got to keep an eye out for that game. But
It's the French new wave of video games.
right.
Ex
There
AAA
was something
developers.
that I have to say, there was something that Austin was doing throughout the entire trip, because he kept telling us, and he was pretty much causing, a stir at almost all the booths. You want to tell
Yeah.
us a little bit why?
It was because every booth that I could, I was finding something. Well, there were two things really. I was breaking a lot of games because I heard I've never seen that before. Probably like 30 different places, because I was purposely pushing the boundaries on some of the games a little bit to try to see what I could get away with, and so I got a lot of devs that told me that, but also. I was asking a lot of them that had like skill-based games if there were any specific challenges that they had that they were hard or available, and I was doing as many of those as I could, and I got at least one free game out of it, because they were like, "Wow, nobody's beaten this before. Take a free copy of the game. We don't have a release date yet, but you can download the whole thing as far as we've got it on Steam already." And I did. I downloaded it on Steam already, and I played it a little bit. It was Rack Punk. Was that game in particular?
Because you're built different.
It was the one dev for Memoria Wake. A little isometric Souls-ish game. They had like a boss that they said only one other person had beaten before at any of their demos on any of the other times that they've gone out somewhere, and I was like, "Give it to me! I'm gonna try it." And I did it 2 tries. It took me 2 tries, but I did it.
I'm surprised you didn't get kidnapped and like hired on to QA somewhere on the show floor. Like, I'm surprised no devs were like, "You work for us now. Congratulations. Thanks for coming."
Well, the Streamlabs guy was like, "Whoa, you're crazy!" They had the click tester thing for like getting the fastest clicks per second on their new mouse. And he told me that the esports guys were holding the highest records at like 17s and 18s, and I was like, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna be over there, and I was over there for a couple minutes, and I got this, like, he said there were no rules to it, so I got this like tactic of capture it with my left hand and like teeter back and forth with my 2 fingers, and I got like 20 clicks per second. And he's like, "Oh my god, never seen anybody do this before."
It's incredible. I mean,
You're just a menace, man.
I mean,
They gave me a free plushy mouse, which I don't have sitting around me. It's over there. I show you.
well, he came, he saw, he conquered for sure, and I mean that's half the fun too, because you're getting to play stuff you never got to play.
Yeah.
You're getting to destroy it, and you're making a lasting impression. So that's really awesome.
I've had a few of them email me already, the devs that I interacted with the most, and they like remembered parts of the conversations we had specifically and asked me about if I wanted to talk to them more or anything yet.
Awesome.
The answer is yes. We do want to talk to them more.
Yeah, I got all those today, like 3 of them. But
Yeah, you got your
Everybody
work cut
coming
out for you.
back post show and getting back into the swing of things.
yep.
And if their kids are on spring break like mine are,
It's also kind of interesting, the first episode back forever ago that I got on when I talked about all my VR stuff. There was a guy there showing off one of his new game that he was working on and running the booth, and it came up that he's in my community that I run for VR, and he was like, "Oh my god, you're one of the mods over there! It's crazy. I didn't expect to meet anybody over here like that." And then he just wanted
That's
to
funny.
talk to me about VR for like 40 minutes, but he wasn't. It wasn't a VR game he was showing off.
yeah, just a VR hobbyist.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there was a good amount of VR. I say with experiences on the floor, right?
Yeah, there were a couple. I wouldn't.
Like in the
I think there were like
corners.
2 or 3 that I saw at least, but it's more than I would expect. I was like, I played 2 of them, and both of them, I was like, I'm gonna kill somebody by accident swinging these things around because this is a very tight area and I can't see anything. And while I'm used to that in my VR, I am not used to standing here with a bunch of people walking around me in circles.
Yeah, you're used to having your own space where you know what your limits are.
It's true.
So what would you say your favorite thing was? What was your favorite thing at PAX?
Yeah, the food trucks. Those
Really?
were great.
That would probably be my favorite thing too.
I mean, I think Fading Echo was the one that caught my eye the most, and like I went and joined their Discord and talked to them. And additionally, they told me and asked me if to join their Discord and tell them what I thought of the demo. So I joined their Discord, and they'd been talking back and forth to me a little bit, and were like really interested to see what you have to say about the demo because I gave them a little feedback about I felt like the game was too easy. Like while I liked the game, it was way too easy what I was playing. And
Yeah.
so they were like, "Well, give us some feedback on the actual demo."
So when the game comes out and it's too hard, we'll know where to direct everybody's hate.
My fault.
Just send it right to Austen.
It was admittedly very easy. I didn't take a single hit the entire time. But
Yeah.
Well, you are good at games, right?
yeah,
You were breaking everything you played.
We have established, built different.
Yeah.
I break it all.
Dude, I have a little mosquito that's just keeps flying like in front of the camera and in front of my face.
They want attention now. Now it's their
The
turn.
mosquitoes do, yeah. Back in
And
Louisiana, man.
Very true.
say I also
Hey, you can see it. There it goes.
I really liked the I don't know how to pronounce it off the top. Honestly, it's a European word, the name, but it's a Gallipoli. It's like the World War One shooter game, which I thought was super cool. They have a whole series of them, which I know like Isanzo was one that they had in the past. I played it a little bit, but I didn't really or caught on to them a ton just because I don't know anybody else that was playing them. But it was interesting to me because I tend to care about games in the shooter genre on whether they have good care of attention to actually caring about showing how the guns work like properly. And I told them that they did one thing that I have never seen any other game do, which I thought was really interesting, and I never even thought about it honestly. And it was when you go to reload a bolt action rifle early, you pull it up, pull it back, the one round comes out, and the character he'll pull it out and he'll grab it so it doesn't fly out, but you lose one round in your mag immediately. So if you interrupt your reload, you'll be down a round. And I've never seen any game do that before.
Cool.
Just of note, thought it was cool.
Awesome.
Good
What did
attention
you
to
see?
detail.
I saw a lot of weird stuff, but in a good way. I mean, my first appointment.
Yeah, we know you hung out with Stan the whole time.
Fun fact, I did. Fun fact. But the first appointment that I had was for a company called OVR Technology, and I'm a sucker for gimmicks. We all know my love for the Resident Evil 7 candle. We will talk about it, and then we'll stop talking about it there.
Is that the stinky game company? They're the ones that have the immersive smells.
Yeah, it's not the stinky company. Let's
Stinky
not
company.
lead with that. I mean, look, there has been technology and companies have been doing this. This is not new. It's not rocket science. There's the smell-o-vision of the 80s and the 70s, but this is a little different. This is they have a device that's kind of like on a stand that's in front of you and has like almost like a printer cartridge, and it's called the Omara. And the idea behind it is it has a large variety of scents that could be incorporated through the programming of the game. When I sat with it, we were demoed a Minecraft demo where they were able to like really customize the world to kind of get you all the different scents, and it's one of those things like it's fascinating because they say seeing is believing. You can't experience it without experiencing it, but it's clever how they use it. The hardest sell, in my opinion, is obviously going to be getting bigger developers, bigger publishers interested. The product is expensive, unfortunately. Like it comes with new technology in the scene. So I think it's going to be like 500 when it officially comes out, but there is a pre-order for like 250 now. You could put like $1 down. I enjoyed the experience. I thought it was cool. I just think that it's going to be like other hardware where you have this point of if you don't have the third party support, you don't have the indie support, it's not going to go anywhere. So the
Yeah.
hope is that people will adapt it. There will be plugins that people can utilize to kind of correlate, and they have parts of their business that'll actually work with the developers to help them kind of create unique customizations. Like one thing I thought was cool is like at one point we just stopped the demo, we were just talking, and a bee in Minecraft flew by, and you kind of got like that floral smell just because it flew by. So you have like those trigger points. If you like light a fire, you can start cooking meat. You get like hints of like herbs and spices and stuff. So again, I don't like to use the term gimmick because again, anything that's not what we usually see tends to fall into those categories. But it was
Yeah.
cool to see something different on the show floor. They had a really nice setup. A lot of the people that were demoing it were playing games to more experience the games, not so much the technology. So it was cool to kind of take that moment and focus on the demo aspect of it. Um, Thursday was pretty much my short day. That was what I mainly played, but then I also played a little bit of Altered Alma from Critical Reflex. I am excited for that one. It's a Metroidvania style game. I happened to audition for one of the characters in the game, so I could love it even more. Wink, wink. But it was a cool demo to play. Um, it has a mix of elements with like traversal and trying to remember the name of the game. Forgive me. It's one of the developers that they did the remake of Blaster Master. They made like another game that came out after with a new character, and it reminded me a lot of that. But it's got the traditional Metroidvania cyberpunk kind of aesthetic with some hand drawn animations in between. So that was a cool time. But then Friday was the Blitz. I think Friday was the Blitz for Austin too. We were pretty much
I was
booked
there all day, every day.
mornings. Well, I'm saying you had appointments scattered, but
Oh
Friday
yeah,
was
yeah.
your busy day, right? Like,
It was, yeah.
anybody that does a show with media knows that when you're booking appointments, you're in it. And like you said before, booth to booth to booth to booth gets exhausting, but met a lot of great people. Some of my big standouts was Saturday. I got to check out Halloween from Ilphonic. So, horror sucker here. Not a big Halloween fan by comparison to the IP, but it was a cool experience playing as a civilian, and I like the creepy aspect of when he's near. They do the original music, so you hear
That's pretty
like
cool.
you hear a little synth, and then they'll like as he gets closer, they add the music and they bring the layer in. So
Yeah.
that was kind of cool. Um, the demo was the asymmetric that we're used to with those types of games. The hope was to see more single player because they've talked about it, but we don't have any updates on that other than they're working on it.
Is it still coming, or are they going to scrap it and kind of do the Dead by Daylight thing?
As for when I asked on the floor, they said that they're still working on it, but it didn't seem like they were willing to talk about anything. So that
Yeah,
leads
I
me to
can
believe
see it
it's gonna
getting
be like,
dropped
I
off.
forgot about it. Yep.
Yeah.
Or the single player is just bots, like Jason was.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
is possible. The two that I didn't play, out of all of them, I didn't play their other game, which was Killer Clowns, because I'm not a Killer Clowns fan. And I didn't play Texas. I think you were supposed to cover a while back when it was coming out, but I never got to play Texas Chainsaw. Did you?
Me?
Remember we had got invited. You were gonna go to a trip, but you ended up not going. So I didn't know if you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So I loved Evil Dead for what it was, but those games can get drawn out. I think the reason that Dead by Daylight has lasted is because of the existing IPs that get
It's the
added.
streamers and the IP collabs that keep it alive. It's not the gameplay or the property.
Right.
Yeah.
It's sustained for. I'll tell you, like 9 years ago, I was interviewing them at PAX with their first collab for Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
So you think back how many years, how many collabs they've gotten since. So, it's kind of like the Fortnite of the asymmetric. When you think about
Right.
it's long lasting, they don't need to build another game. They could just keep this going, and if
Iterating on that one and keep getting paid.
well, if it's not broken, don't fix it, right? I think that's
Yeah.
could definitely work. But yeah, other than that, my two highlights were Drop Dead Studios, which you might know their name from if you've ever seen like horror-based games on like any console that are called Outbreak, but there's like Outbreak something else, and there's like a bunch of different sub games in their genre. This one
I don't think I saw
developer,
that one.
Yeah, I don't think I know Outbreak. I know Outlast, but
yeah, Outbreak is like if you go like you could find a lot of their games at $20, $10. They're like self-contained. A lot of times they kind of mix the genres, so there'll be survival horror, fixed camera,
Got
survival
it.
horror, multiplayer, survival horror, third person. It's a husband and a wife, developer, publishers, self financed and everything. I
nice.
followed their games for a couple of years, and they've pumped out like I think between 10 to 12 games in the last almost 10 years. So it was cool to kind of meet up with them. We talked a little bit. They were selling some of their physicals at like a pretty good value. So I bought a couple of their games. They were like $20 a pop. I'm in the physical game again, so it's nice to support. But yeah, it was funny. The owner, the main guy, walks by. He's like, "Hey, I'm Evan, and I'm an artist." And he gives me a card. And when you look at the card, it looks like the art doesn't look like you want to take it serious because it's like scribbles and like almost like stick figures.
Yeah.
But then on the other side is like their brand and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a quick pitch to get to talk to him and everything.
Yeah.
At first, most people might look at that and be like, "Sure you are,"
Right.
but obviously tongue in cheek. So it was it was a cool opportunity. And then like their most recent game, Shades of Horror, is heavily inspired by Outbreak, the RE games, because that's kind of what inspired them to make these different games. So
Yeah.
like a multiplayer version of that too. So
Nice.
yeah, that was a lot of fun. And then the last one was Blumhouse Games. Blumhouse Games, I'm a sucker for. Many people know I've reviewed Fear the Spotlight, played a little bit of Crystal, never got to go back and finish it, unfortunately. But they have a game coming out called Grave Seasons. That's a game I would never think I'd like because it's very Stardew Valley-like with the crafting and the farming and stuff, but with horror elements. So there's a serial killer on the loose, and the serial killer can, kind of wreak havoc when you're just getting close to somebody, but your character is kind of a former thief, so you can kind of be a baddie yourself. And the pixelized art style was really unique. And yeah, I was watching my friend Andrew play it, and he's a big Stardew guy, so it was really cool to see that element of it. But then like when it took those dark turns, like it really did. So like I appreciated, all of a sudden you were just trying to break into your neighbor's house. She got pissed at you, kicked her out. She kicked you out. The next day she's dead. So like you kind of feel bad, it's like, oh, you got double down dirty, you know.
Right.
But yeah, that's coming out in August, so it was cool to play that and stop by, let them know, what big supporters my son and I are. They gave my son a Five Nights at Freddy's pin, which was really
Oh,
cool.
nice.
And I ended up picking up Fear the Spotlight from I Am 8-Bit, and then they told me to go back to the booth to get a free shirt. So it was kind of like, just kind of worked out. But I can't say that I love the food trucks because I didn't get a chance to experience them. Because almost every time we did, it was like too late. They were packing up and everything. But
Oh man,
the variety was plentiful for
I
sure.
love me a good food truck, bro.
The one that got me was there was a thing. One of them was doing buttermilk chicken tenders and like baked mac and cheese, and it was a big thing. And I kept looking at them, and I would go to the other ones, but I was like, that one.
That was outside, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Because I know that there's a
Where you
couple inside. My friend Andrew and I did a couple of empanadas. That was the only thing that we did.
Oh yeah. Or you could pay $10 for one hot dog.
Did you do that, or did Stan do that?
No, I didn't do that. I looked at it and I was like, no, thank you.
I think Stan did that.
What a fool.
Stan.
It's not the most Stan's ever paid for a hot dog, though.
We'll be right back.
But I kind of avoided the ones at the front, which were the big name ones, except for when I was with you when you did Bubsy and the
Yes.
Jay and Silent Bob game. And what was the other one called? I don't remember. No. Like
every time we talk
this-
about it, it's with a RE. It's re something.
I don't know. It was the other Atari game that they showed off, and I didn't write it down because I couldn't remember what his name was.
It might be payback for the fact that the guy at Atari was choosing to ignore me because of my Romeo is a Dead Man T-shirt.
Dude, I'm about to finally start it. It's installed on my PlayStation because I got the platinum on Resident Evil, so now I can start Romeo's a Dead Man.
When we walked up, he was insulting him for having it, and then he introduced himself to, Benny's friend Andrew that was with us and me, and then skipped over Benny entirely.
What's he got against Romeo?
He says he's a Suda fan, but he said the game is very repetitive, and which I don't disagree, but I don't think it's enough to hate on my shirt. Like Suda.
It is not enough to hate on your shirt.
Suda. I mean, the guy I ended up liking him a little more, and we started talking because he started name dropping games that I like. So I was like, he's doing deep cuts now. He was bringing up Condemned from Xbox 360, which I love.
Austin and I know a little something about that game.
Yeah. Yeah.
What don't I know?
Oh no, just we played that forever ago.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's a great game. I mean, it was way ahead of its time, I think, and it was cool to hear him say it. And then we brought up Breakdown from Xbox, if you remember, original Xbox.
I don't know. The only thing I can remember from original Xbox is Fusion Frenzy and Halo.
Got it. Yeah, this wasn't a launch title, but I would say probably a Q1, Q2 game. It was a first-person action game from Namco, but like hand combat. So it was one of the first of its kind. So if you like those games, kind of like Mirror's Edge, but not the parkour, just like that, focus on that first person, like you grab the cans in the soda machine and like drink them. It was a lot more immersive back then, and it was way ahead of its time too. But
Yeah.
So but it was cool to check out the Atari booth as well because Bubsy surprised me. That was my biggest surprise.
I agree.
Bubsy 4, because Bubsy looks like they finally decided to revamp, remake, redesign, take it back to basics, make it what people liked about the character, and not kind of
Bubsy?
Bubsy, the one that everybody is like,
Did you
oh
say
my god,
Bubsy 4?
yeah.
Yeah.
This
They're
is
old games.
This is a thing?
Yeah, and
The
they weren't
hell?
beloved. It was like an attempt to be like another. I can't even. What were they competing?
Like what,
against?
Sly Cooper?
Like a
Crash Bandicoot?
yeah. What were they competing against at the time? They had like
Yeah, I don't remember, but yeah,
I don't remember.
3D didn't
But-
do well, obviously.
Bubsy 4D promises an exciting return to the... Brother, I have never heard of this franchise.
Well, that ties into what the Atari guy said to us because he said that they were bringing it back for both of the fans of the franchise.
He said, and I think I met one of them here.
Yeah, the infamous wisecracking Bobcat.
He was Super Nintendo and Genesis. That's how long ago, for the record. The first 2 games. The 3D one was not so long ago, and somebody at Gaming Age reviewed it. And I don't think they were too nice about it.
Somebody at
many
Gaming
people
Age
were.
did, huh?
Yeah.
I
So
don't think many people were, to be fair.
no, well, that was the
Hardcore
point.
Gamer says the demo does a fantastic job of turning a character who might best have been left in the past feel relevant again. I also like that this is crazy that a Bubsy game is actually good, just like control-wise. Atari, please do not put this in the tagline on Steam. Number one thing they have on Steam.
It's great.
That's funny.
I was surprised by it too because I'd heard about it in infamy basically prior, but it was fun to play. And they have like he said that every level has a global speedrunning leaderboard for you to compete in. So
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
still
and
subtle again on that.
according to Steam, since I'm looking at Bubsy, I also want to play Jay and Silent Bob Chronic Blunt Punch.
Which we played, or
We
these
did.
guys played. I watched as they fought a highly inappropriate looking imitation of Scrooge McDuck in human form with his dick and balls out.
yeah, that was.
Wearing a top hat, chaps, and a cane
Well, I mean, yeah,
with his dick and balls hanging out.
of course. That's how I dress on Halloween.
I've never been a like a Jay and Silent Bob watcher or knower of much of their stuff. Like I've seen, I think like the first Jay and Silent Bob thing with Clerks there, right?
Yeah.
But I've not followed them. So playing that, I had no idea what was going on. But I know Andrew was excited. So
Well, Andrew was wearing a Blunt Man jersey, so highly appropriate for it. And the fact that
Love
he
it.
pre-ordered the game back in 2016 and it's still not out.
Jesus, that's so long ago. Wow.
I said, oh, you bought it when my son was born. That's kind of crazy. That's insane. Yeah, and he showed them. He's like, yeah, here's my receipt. Still waiting. Apparently, it's coming out on 4/20.
You owe me back taxes at this point.
Oh, they should get him a physical at this point.
No kidding, man. Good Lord. Well, dude, that's awesome. I'm glad you guys had so much fun. I'm glad that you guys got to go. I'm sorry that I wasn't there. It looks like next year, tentatively, I should be able to be there. It's at the end of April next year instead of in March. So as long as my wife is not graduating that
At that
day,
time.
right, she should not have to be at school. So I should be able to be there next year.
hopefully we can all go, and I can also get some other people maybe to join us.
Plenty of food to eat. I know I ate probably the most Japanese food I've eaten in a week.
Nice.
Thought
Hey,
that was,
I remember you guys talking about it. You're just going to Japanese place to Japanese
Yeah, I'm
place
like-
to Japanese place.
I'm like, me and Tyler, me and Austin, we go, and then we all get our own food. He gets Korean hot dogs, the corn dogs. I
Yep.
get curry rice. The next day I end up with curry rice again. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I mean, I'm okay with it because I can't get that stuff here. So, and then when there was ramen, and then...
You can't get it there? Dude, all my wife talks about when she goes to Jersey is how good the food is and how much good food she gets.
Not my vicinity. That's the problem. I came home, and I'm like, oh, I'm home.
Oh,
Yeah.
Where's my curry rice?
sucks.
Yeah, like there's one place that makes it decent, but I'm telling you, Andrew and I went to a marketplace on Saturday, and it was dynamite. Like, it was
Yeah.
just so good. But yeah, it was the place that we ate on Saturday night. We went to this all-you-can-eat Japanese barbecue. We kept saying, "Oh, we're gonna do the unlimited," and Austin's like, "I guess I'll pay my way in, but I don't think I'm gonna eat it. I'm not really that hungry." And then the meat starts coming out, and he's like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna eat some of this food." He's like, "Oh, this is pretty damn good." And there's like 30 plates on the table. It's just
It was crazy. It was getting tossed out everywhere. I didn't know what I was getting. It's just eat this, eat that, eat this, and I was like, keep some of this away from me.
Yeah, my friend Andrew is like the sous chef because he was the closest to,
Yeah.
to the stove. So he's like, "All right, you eat this," and then he's just divvying it out. It was great. but it
Your
was
camera
so
is
much
going
food.
wild up there. Oh, your bit rate has gone way
Yeah,
out
you are.
now.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh boy,
You're like a total of 30 pixels.
Yep.
it can't handle my hands. That's so weird.
Nope. Please, sir, may I have a few more pixels?
Well, before we disconnect, I want to give a shout out and a thank you to Gunner. This is not a promoted advertisement. This is a straight up thank you.
Good thing that
Gunner's-
it's not a promoted advertisement because we cannot see what the fuck you are holding.
Oh, that's even better. So I guess I'm just gonna blip out.
Ah.
And I'm back, and I'm still frozen. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, it's still terrible. Still
What
terrible.
What the fuck is happening?
I have one other game that I must mention real quick because while it's just an experience of a game that I played and I met the creator and he was super cool, but and as he got told by some of the people around him, his brain needs to be like kept for science or something for the coming up with the things he was doing in this game. The game is, I'll read the full title of it here because I also got this poster from them. But the name is A Brazilian Drug Dealer Before Four Demons from the Portal to Hell I Opened are Still in the Favela, and Now I Have to Save Mamadas from Ronaldo.
Oh,
So they gave me this weird, like, I played and all I got was this stupid poster thing. And, like, their shirts had it plastered on there, and they had, their business cards had, like, Cuban guy, the Cold War guy in Cuba.
Che?
Yeah, they had him just his face was their business card and a QR code next to it,
Amazing.
and it's just like a boomer shooter with a million Brazil references because the creator is a one-man show that he lives in Brazil, and it's quite an experience to play, and you should just look at it. Whether or not you play it, you should go look at the video on Steam because it's absurd.
Sounds like he'll be buddies with Stefano.
So
I don't know who that is.
maybe.
Oh, I can't hear you, Benny.
Cookie. Oh, I think we're all. Everything's going to crap now.
Yeah. Oh, you're
Yeah.
back. I heard that.
Everything's going to shit.
Oh, nope. Now it's all off center.
What?
Your mouth and your voice are not connected at
You're
all.
talking from the future.
What the fuck is happening? I might as well do this.
It's a bad
Yes.
anime dub.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
All right.
this is a fucking shit show. Fucking
Always.
internet. Well, not always, but
Something's always wrong. No, with you, with me, with somebody, we have a problem. But that's how we do, man. That's how we get by.
that's why we're.
It's
pressed
the
for shit.
charm of our show. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
But
you can hear that though, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
But,
So-
all right.
I'll close out with one thing. We'll do this for another day. You mentioned Stefano. Anybody that's on the social medias, you know Cookie Cutter. You know I'm a shill. I boast. I'd like to formally say that I can say this now publicly. I am in the game. I will be a new character in the updated DLC. My name is Dodix Martin, and I cannot wait to see what that's like. But Cookie Cutter developer just posted that on social media, so I just wanted to share and thank you for listening to me rant and rave about Cookie Cutter all these years.
I love it. Dude, something just snapped and your audio is better now. I can hear you at appropriate volume. Just immediately as the show ended, it popped. Like something popped and now your voice went right to normal audio level.
Your internet wanted that last little bit to get through, but nothing else.
Yep.
Well, my kid's probably downloading something.
Yeah, it may have just ended. Yeah, and it's you literally popped into quality.
Son of a bitch. Well, thank you, Gunner. Again, thank you. You made glasses for size FF. It's the biggest improvement that I could ever ask for because I love the glasses. We love the glasses. And I'm so grateful that they made ones that don't squeeze my temples because I wear them and let them squeeze my temples because I like them that much. But these are the Mammoth Onyx. Just wanted to just throw that out and shout that out. I have some other glasses to test out. I'll be talking about them soon. Maybe when my camera doesn't die out next time. But
Sounds like a
thank
good
you all
plan.
for listening. As always, we appreciate it, and we will be back sooner than later.
Yes.
Till next time, everybody, take care and have fun glitching out.
See ya.